Right, we're going to take the valves out of the head, both of them, obviously, and I'm using a new valve spring compressor that I've just got, so you'll have to bear with me for a second while I get it set up. As you can maybe tell from that one, I'm a right cat's arse of that. Right, I'll just knock you off a minute and I'll have a bit sort out of this valve spring thing. Right, second valve, let's see if this goes any better. I don't like the way it's spinning there. The spring. Well, I think it's fair to say that that's crap. Do not like that at all. Right, well, that's the valves out. I'll just knock you off for a minute and we'll get sorted for the next bit. Right, valve stem seals. Just get a decent pair of pliers. Just grip them, twist and pull. You're not trying to squash them, you're just trying to grip them. So just in, just get a good grip on it. As I say, you're not trying to squash it, so don't force it on really hard. Just twist and pull. They come off quite easy, really. What I've just done off camera is I've just been measuring my valve stems. And it's amazing really that they're perfectly round, and the measurement I'm getting is what you should be getting on a new valve. But I'll double check them, I'll make them up, and just try to read the top of the valve, some writing on it, I can't quite see it. But yeah, I'll double check them, but so far the round, they're not out of round, should I say. And the sizes are, it's reading the same as if it was a new one, which is good. What I'll do is I've got bore gauge, and I'll check my valve guides. There's a few checks I'll do. One of the checks I've also done is just to check the flatness of the head. I'll make sure it's not warped. Give the surface a clean over with a gasket scraper. And using just for the quick check, I was using, if I can find it, even feeler gauges that are a pain in the ass. Right, I don't know if you can see that. Basically what that is, it's a 1.5 thou inch, as in 0.0015, and 0.038 on the millimetre one. You get yourself a proper straight edge, perfectly flat edge, and I'll see if I can do this. Put it across the head, not just in one place obviously, but you check it all over, which I've done, and you just try and keep that right. Just try to shove the feeler gauge under. Keep it upright because you'll create a gap. And you do that in all different directions. You know, I go and perfectly flat. Well, I say perfectly flat. I can't get a 1.5 thou feeler gauge under anywhere, so far these heads are looking good. I mean, the seats, although they're not standing out like a fresh grind, the seats are still relatively good. Just a case of a good clean up really with this, and but as I say, I'll do the checks on the head. I'll check the install heights of the valve guides, make sure the nout's gone strange and made them move, and check the bore of the valve guide and see what they are, see if they're worn any. And on the cylinders, I've had the strangest thing with the cylinders. The standard bore on these 1450s is 3 3/4 inch, like 3.750. Anyways, I measured my bores to say, like, I put torque plates on and measured the bores with my like basic bore gauge that you put, not obviously not one of these, but use a digital a micrometer on, the 3 to 4 inch micrometer, and I was getting readings and checking it at various places up and down the bore, and all my readings were coming out at 3749 on both cylinders. And I thought, this can't be right, because the standard bore's meant to be 3750. So I took the cylinders round to a mate's spot who's an engineer and works in real tight tolerances, and he has proper fancy, really expensive digital bore gauges. So I took him round to his spot and we run them down the bores, and basically his readings was 3.749 in most of it, and on a couple of spots 3.7495, which is like half a thou difference. And it's incredible really to think that this bike with a bore of that's meant to be 3750 has done 42,500 miles, and the bore's actually smaller than what it's meant to be. So, and that was like double checked, triple checked more than out else. But the good news is, it means that because I'm going to put new pistons and rings and stuff in it, it means that I can just buy standard pistons. And all I'll do is I'll get them honed with a real fine honing stone, a honing setup or whatever you want to call it. Just just give the bores a clean more than out else. But the bores are going to be well within spec, so that's one good thing. And so far these, as I say, these are measuring the same as new, and I'll check these and see what they come out at, because anything that's worn, I'll replace it. I won't just say, oh, that'll do, oh, it'll be alright. It'll get knocked out and replaced. Right, anyways, that's it on this for now. I'll give him a clean up and check, as I say, check all the sizes, and I'll stop you for now. We'll pull this is the rear head, by the way. I'll get the front head round, we'll get the valves out of that, but I'll be using a different valve spring compressor, because that thing I've used on this one was shit. So I'll stop you for now. Right, it looks like this new valve spring compressors, I got a bit of a reprieve because it seems that I've modified the other one and it won't fit the Harley head anymore. And as I can't be asked to put it back to how it should be at the minute, I'll just give this another Well, that's actually worked how it's meant to. If you remember when I did the rear head, it was spinning that. What I've done is I've put a bit of, inside where that fits in, I've put copper slip in it. That seems to have done the trick. A good job and all, because it was going in the fucking bin. Excuse the French. I watch a thing on YouTube, a bloke, it's his own business, called Tetro Machine, and he strips and rebuilds all different types of engines. He sort of specialises in the older stuff like your WLAs and the old knuckles and panheads and stuff. Absolutely brilliant to watch. I mean, he does modern stuff as well, but he has an air operated valve spring compressor which looks a fancy bit of kit like, so I may just look at getting something like that. Makes life so much easier. I'll also be taking this out because obviously the heads are going to get washed and, well, I say washed, they're going to get cleaned. Right, let's see if it works again. I mean, it helps if you have the head supported as well. It definitely works a bit better with a bit of lubrication on it. One thing to note as well, when you're letting the pressure back off, just make sure that it runs centrally up your collar, you know, so it doesn't, the edge of the collar doesn't dig in the grooves in the top of the valve. Turn it round, make sure you can see that. What all I'm doing is popping the valve through, and I'm just feeling what the clearance is. Now this isn't technical, it's just more because I've done a lot of heads. You get to, you know, you can virtually tell, oh, that's not going to be right, or yeah, that's in spec, and then when you measure it, 9 times out of 10 you're right. So all you're checking for is that when the valve goes in, that there's not excessive, you know, like side to side, up and down. You're just looking for the clearance between the valve the valve guide and the valve body, the valve stem, should I say. Pliers. And I know I've already said it, just don't grip it. You grip it enough to grip the valve stem seal. Just give it a twist and pull at the same time, obviously. But you're not like trying to crush it. So it's just to grip it. Right, next. I don't know if you can still see that. We'll take this off. I'll just give a socket. Get my hands away first. Right, I'm just going to put the head flat on the table. Because this will probably be tight. That's it. Right, so that's basically the valves removed. Obviously that sensor taken out. There's other things, like if you look up in there, I don't know if you can see that, yep, bring it in a bit closer. This is the O-rings off the top of the push rods, or push rod tube should I say. You know, I just carefully just pry them out. Basically what I'll do is I'll check my valve guide clearances. I'll clean the mating face off and check it for flatness, make sure the head's not got warped or out like that, and then clean all the head up, and we'll go from there. Yeah, that's it for now. Just a quickie that I've just remembered. I haven't cleaned this head yet, obviously. It was only 2 seconds ago that I switched the camera off. But I've just given that bit across there a bit of a wipe with a cloth. This is another area that'll get checked. You know, obviously there's bits and pieces on here of gasket and stuff, but once it's all cleaned off, the flatness of all this, you know, it'll all be checked. But what I did on the cylinder head when I was showing you out on the cylinder head face, that's how I'll be doing it all, just to make sure it's all. I won't be filming it because it gets boring after a while. But yeah, just to let you know that'll be getting checked for true as well. Okay.